Shannon and Josh from Love Island USA Season 3 started off looking like the real deal. From the very beginning, they had that spark that made viewers believe they could actually last. They became a couple early on, made things official, and even dropped the boyfriend and girlfriend titles in the villa, which was a huge step. People were calling them one of the strongest couples that season, and honestly, it looked like they might even go the whole way. But as we know now, their love story didn't end happily ever after, and what really went down is sad, dramatic, and full of twists. When Josh lost his older sister Lindsay during the show, everything changed. He was told the devastating news while still in the villa, and it completely broke him. Shannon, of course, was there for him, comforting him and supporting him. That moment felt so real and raw, and it showed how much she actually cared about him outside of the games and the villa drama. Josh made the decision to leave the show immediately to be with his family, and Shannon chose to leave with him. That exit made headlines everywhere because it wasn't about drama or a recoupling. This was about something real. Fans were heartbroken for him, but also touched that Shannon stood by his side. At that point, it really seemed like they had the strength to go through anything together. After the villa, things looked good at first. They appeared in interviews, they posted sweet things about each other, and Josh even called Shannon his rock. It was clear they were trying to make it work despite the huge tragedy hanging over them. Fans shipped them hard and thought they might be the rare Love Island couple that actually beat the odds. But here's the thing. Reality TV love and real-world love are not the same. Once the cameras stop rolling, that pressure and that constant spotlight fades away, and couples have to deal with life, work, distance, and everything else that comes with being young and figuring it all out. By mid-2022, news broke that Josh and Shannon had split. They shared statements saying they still cared for each other, that there was no bad blood, but they just couldn't make it work. They talked about timing, about how their lives were going in different directions. Shannon was back in school, Josh was working, and it seems like being apart more often than not put a strain on their relationship. It wasn't the dramatic cheating scandal fans might have expected, but it was still heartbreaking because people saw how close they were on the show. A lot of fans felt like it was the universe being cruel after everything they had already been through together. But the messiness didn't stop there, because a few months later, Josh and Shannon were spotted back together. They posted cute pictures again, went on trips, and gave fans hope that maybe they had worked things out. For a while, it looked like they were giving love another chance. This back and forth is what made people say their split was one of the messiest, because one second they were done, the next second they were all smiles again. Nobody really knew what the truth was, and the confusion only made fans talk about it more. By 2023, though, it became clear that they were finished for real. Shannon confirmed during an appearance on After the Island that they had broken up again and that this time it was final. Josh later admitted during an Instagram Q&A that they were no longer together, but that they remained friends and wished each other the best. And that's where things started to make sense. It wasn't about one big dramatic fight. It was about a lot of small things adding up over time. Shannon has even admitted she was hard on Josh sometimes. She said she came in with trust issues, and because of that, she tested him a lot. She would push him away to see if he'd come back, and while that might have been her way of protecting herself, it probably made the relationship harder to maintain. So why did this split feel so messy to fans? Because it wasn't simple. There was tragedy, there were back and forth moments, there were times they looked stronger than ever, and then suddenly they were done. It left fans confused, upset, and kind of heartbroken. And honestly, it felt unfair because if any couple deserved a shot at making it, it was Josh and Shannon. They weren't the ones causing chaos in the villa, they weren't jumping from person to person, they were steady. But the outside world is where Love Island couples are really tested, and unfortunately, they couldn't survive it. Now both of them seem to have moved on with their lives. Shannon is focusing on herself, her career, and her own growth. Josh is doing the same, working, spending time with family, and continuing to heal after such a tough personal loss. They don't seem bitter, and they both talk respectfully about each other, which is rare in reality TV land. But still, the story of their relationship is one that fans can't stop rehashing because it had all the elements of a Love Island fairy tale and then turned into one of the most talked about splits. In the end, Shannon and Josh showed that even the strongest couples can crumble when faced with real-world struggles. They had love, they had loyalty, and they had that once-in-a-lifetime villa experience. But grief, distance, and personal differences were just too much to overcome. It's messy, it's sad, and it's unforgettable, which is why their breakup still has people asking what really happened. And let's be real, this is Love Island. The messier the split, the juicier the tea, and Shannon and Josh gave us plenty of both.